The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Hello everyone, Ron again, and today we're going to talk about de-essing. So de-essing is exactly what it sounds like. It's when you take the S out of a word, but why is it necessary? So to understand that, we first have to understand what sibilance is. Sibilance occurs pretty much when you pronounce the letter S, because the letter S essentially is you making noise, to be honest. So there was a previous video where I mentioned something about that, where sibilance is kind of the idea of just noise. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So I prepared a GMS, have the noise turned up. So if I press a note, it's just going to make noise. And I'm going to show you what I mean. If you look over here, this EQ is on the master bus. So it's registering every sound that happens inside of this session right now. And it's responding, showing where the frequencies are. So this is my voice. Now if I pronounce the letter S, almost like a hissing sound, you'll notice that it's just mostly up here. So now I'm going to play some noise for you from GMS. Not in a noisy way, because it is noise after all, so it can't be too loud, because then that would be annoying, right? But I'm going to play it so you can see how similar the S is to noise. So here is the noise. See the frequency range that it takes up? And when I pronounce the letter S, so for that reason, because it's so high, and we are actually more adept at hearing higher frequencies, if they're really pronounced, they start to hurt your ears because they become too much. They sort of feel sharp. And I mentioned before that some people actually do whistle while they S. And I don't know how to whistle, but that's a hilarious issue to have if I could whistle. That's really, really funny. So essentially, we're going to take a look at this audio example that I've been using in the same chain that I had prepared before. And then I'm going to do something extra that'll just be fun for this video. So this is with everything except the de-esser. And when I turn the de-esser on, you're going to see where the de-esser is de-essing from, like what frequency range, and I'm going to explain it. So here is without the de-essing. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Now with de-essing in. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the... So, here's the threshold similar to a compressor. If an S goes louder than or loud enough in this threshold, it's going to be attenuated, which is another word for saying turned down, reduced. Again, we don't have enough ways to say anything. So, what you're aiming for, if you press this button that says listen, and if there is any noise in the background, sorry about that. My neighbors are doing something like building a cow next door. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on out there. I just hear tools and it sounds like dirt is being moved. I don't know. Maybe they're wheelbarrowing a cow in or out. It's confusing. But this is the time I have to make this video, So I'm gonna make this video. Anyhow, let's listen to just the S's by themselves. The Lord is my shepherd. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou... So the idea is that when you're de-essing, there's a form of compression that's only happening on the area where the S's are to leave the rest of your voice alone. That's the idea. Because you just want to attenuate the S. You don't want to attenuate the rest. So when you press listen, in this example, it solos that band or frequency range, because band is another way of saying frequency range, an easier way actually. Stick with that. So it solos that band, and it lets you hear just what it's affecting. So that's why you hear it, because you only want to take the S sounds out. You don't want to mess with the rest of it. Sibilance also occurs when you speak different letters, like when you say T. Let's just look at it actually. So t, t, ch, s, f. Any of those letters like C, T, F, S, they're all going to be attenuated by a de-esser because all of them have the same type of sibilant frequencies, which generally occur up here. Especially in my voice, they're usually up there in the area of noise. The area where they come out depends on how you pronounce the letter S also. This is just something I've noticed. You can pronounce the S while clenching your teeth, like S, or you can pronounce it with your teeth parted with just your tongue, like S. So it really depends on how you pronounce your S, where it's going to fall in a lot of cases, and how much you open your mouth, because your mouth filters out frequencies that you are going to speak. So if you have your mouth closed, it's harder to hear you because less frequencies are getting through. And that concludes this because that part is actually very simple. But now I'm going to do something just for fun, and I'm going to show you this plugin patch that I made. So if you look's right here, this is called Patcher. And it's a place where you can combine your own different effects, put them together, and they'll do what you want them to do. And you can have as many as you want. So I have all of these. There's mostly formula controllers that regulate the speed that the parameters move when I'm turning the knobs. But it's called Closer, and it's designed to make things sound farther away or closer. But it's really cool when it makes something sound far away. So I was playing around with this and I transformed the sound of this noise to try to make it sound like a waterfall. So I'm going to explain it briefly. And here's sort of an audio example from what I was talking about in the last video where you can use different techniques. So a future topic will be reverb, which I haven't covered yet. But basically, I'm using reverb to make a sound farther away with filters. And this brightness that you see is saturation, which was the topic of the last video. So I'm gonna just turn some knobs and just let you hear what it sounds like. And then that'll be it. So thank you for watching and stick around to hear the different sound designs. Some things may sound like wind. Some things may sound like a waterfall. Just think about if you were listening to water moving in a movie and the characters got closer or farther away from it and the camera changed the angle, how the water would change the way it sounds, and listen to the different frequencies that are affected. That's the point. And it's fun because I really love sound design. So have an awesome day after this. And here's your bonus if you stuck around to this point.